Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. We are live. What is going on, everyone? How are we? It is Monday. I am still, believe it or not, a little bit throaty, kind of under the weather, kind of a little coffee, just a little of this lingering crud, guys. It really has had me off my game too, but we're here. I got a lot of really good stuff for you guys today. Some really good. We're going to try to get in this U.S. market trade this morning, but I got a lot of really interesting, I think interesting, macro stuff. So go ahead and hit up the poll, give the stream a thumbs up, and we're going to dive right in. Let's see who's here. Max, Mighty Max, what's up, bro? Moy Marcus, what's up, dude? Thanos, my main man. Johnny number 5. Spyro, what's up, brother? I'm glad you're here. Kerry Benz, my guy. Got the whole crew here, guys. I just posted in Discord like 60 seconds ago. I posted updated targets with the split dang red boxes. And I have reasons for that. We're going to kind of cover that today. I got some macro stuff. We're going to go over West Coast. Oh, dude. What? I'm so confused. You crossed. Would you cross? Dude, I'm lost. There's something by your name, too. What is that? Do you see that by your name? Does everybody else see that? I don't know what it is. Maybe I know my eyes are bad. I see something by your name. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Well, what does that mean, though, you crossed? Gosh, I feel like I should know this. I'm a little loopy. I'm still on some of the medication. I'm still a little spacey-headed, so you have to forgive me. But what's up, guys? We're here. I actually tried to get in this good short copy trade. I'll show you. Tried to get into this morning. Look, I was ready for this, guys. I had it marked out. We had the high over here. I was sitting here. I was getting the things prepared for the stream here, and we had the high over here, and I had the white line on here. I was looking for a swoop of the high into the 786. And we came up. We swooped the high. We front ran 786 by $7, and I didn't take the trade because I thought for sure we would come back to it. And because what you want to do, sometimes you hit this and you blast. So you want to wait to make sure you hit it, come back below it, and then you take the trade, right? And I was just like, okay. And I was like, shoot. So I flipped over to Bybit because I was on MEXC. I flipped over to Bybit. I was like, oh, shit, did we hit it on Bybit? And where did all my stuff go? And sure enough, we ran it on Bybit also, just by a few dollars. So I was like, okay, we'll come back for it in just a minute. You know, I thought we'd do one of these little loopity-loops, loopity-swoops. Thought we'd come down and then come back and take it and create another drive of bear div and then rotate down, but we never did. So I missed the trade. And it just bees like that sometimes. It just bees like that. We missed it, but I was ready for it. Had the alert set. Sitting here getting the stream all set up, my alert, deep, deep, deep. I looked over, I said, okay, here we go. Here we go. Nope. They had other ideas. We might come back for it this morning. We'll see. I'm going to zoom back out quickly, and I'm going to take this green box off. A lot of traders show these boxes. They bother me. I don't know. I don't like them. They're just distracting. Anyway, we drew this short trade box on the live stream on Friday. I drew this box right here. It's been right here. It was attached to the dang red box. And as you can see, I'll zoom in here. It's kind of hard to see. We came up, wicked right into the dang red box, right into our trade box, and it has been short city since. I do know that a few of you took this. I've seen some P&L cards on this. Nice job. You guys killed that. And we'll see if we rotate down or if we come take that high again. So we do have a CME gap up here, about 77.3K-ish, depending on the exchange. But, of course, we have gaps way up top at about 84K, and we have gaps down below at 69, 66, and 63K. So we got gaps all over the place. Let that be a lesson. I know that most gaps fill, but they are not a guaranteed trade to the gap kind of thing, okay? I'm sitting here looking at 5 of them right now over the last couple months that have not filled. All right, I'm going to hide this short box just because it's distracting for me. We'll see what price wants to do here. Let's zoom in first. We'll go to the 15-minute. You can see we have a clear bias today, which is what sucks. I was hoping to get in a really big copy trade today. We had Asia and UK trend to the upside. So you know what that means. Asia high has already been taken. UK high has already been taken. I have all this marked out on KCEX. KCEX and MEXC have the same chart. So I'm going to switch over to KCEX in just a minute so that we can try to get in this trade. Then we're going to come back here to Bybit for our macro analysis. But anyway, we are looking for the U.S. to potentially reverse this, although the S&P was pumping to a gap fill. They had this big gap right here, and it looks like they just filled it. So we'll see if that's all they wanted. They want to fill and reverse, or if they want to keep going. You do have the Russell. All that kind of good stuff has gaps to the downside from Friday. So we'll see. We'll see. It could really go either way here, guys, and I hate to say that, but it really could. This is one of those days. However, the bias based upon previous market sessions would be a reversal. What I would like to see, and I don't know if we're going to get it, but ideally what I would like to see is the U.S. to open here in a few minutes, come into that 786, swoop these two highs, and then rotate down, and we'd be looking for a trade here. I don't think we come here, although we could. If we come there, we have another relatively equal high here. Then we probably come all the way up into this. Got a little imbalance here. But I would like to see just a rotation in that 786 and then come take this. That would be ideal. Salt Chain, good morning. Max says, I took the dang red box trade, realized 1K profit so far, stop loss at entry. Those boxes are money, money, money. Good job, brother. Yeah. Listen, we put these dang boxes on the chart for a reason. Speaking of boxes, we got a few minutes. Speaking of boxes. So let me zoom out a little. We had the dang boxes on the chart here. And it was kind of just one big box. Like we had this box that we came into, right? This box that we came into right here, and I had it still on there, just adjusted slightly. Well, I kind of broke that down a little bit just because some things have kind of changed. Let me put my fibs back on. If I can find the right ones. All right. So we kept I really like this level at the daily level right into the very beginning of the golden pocket, okay? And I got this new box here that covers the entire golden pocket because you technically could swoop just this high and even this high and then rotate down. However, if you don't, and I mean quickly SFP this right here, you have this imbalance with no volume. You can see price moves really quickly through that to the 702, where you did have a little bit, just a little bit of kind of support and resistance right here, really just kind of resistance for a minute. So you could hit the 702. It's a good rejection area. But the better box would be a gap fill up here with the 786. You can see clear rejection area there multiple times, support and resistance. And then, of course, once you get up to these higher levels, you come into a whole new range up here, all sorts of support there. So I separated these into the boxes. The least amount of support would be this 702, but however, 702 is my favorite retrace level. So we'll just kind of see, but you can see there's really not much there, right? You get a lot more here, you get a lot more here. But rather than just having one giant drawdown box, I think these are pretty good separated areas to where if you come into them and lose them, you're probably quickly headed to the next box. So like if you get above this and you don't just SFP this wick real quick, you're probably very quickly headed here. And if you don't get a massive rejection there, I mean, this is a very tiny box, tiny box, then you're probably going straight to here, gap fill 786. I'm going to show you something else too. We got some good macro stuff we're going to go over today. Some really good macro notes. Some things that are going to make you ponder, guys. Don't forget to hit up the poll and chat. I'm curious if you guys think we gap filled today, the one at 77K. Let's drop back down to 15-minute. U.S. market's opening in a few minutes. I'm going to switch over to the KCEX chart when it opens. Guys, if you're interested, I'm trading on KCEX. KCEX. The banner is up top. KCEXtrading.com. Go directly there. Affiliate link down below. Or MEXC. Let me flash that banner for you. MEXCtrading.us. You can go directly to that link and get your MEXC account. Sign up. Both of them have 0.01% maker fee, market order fees. You just mark it in. You don't have to limit 0.01%. You can't beat that. No place else is cheaper that I'm aware of. Nothing. I trade on both. Hawkborn, good morning. And I'm sorry I'm a little hoarse, guys. Sorry. My voice might give out on me today. We're going to try, though. Well, we'll monster it up. Probably the worst thing you can do. Bitcoin, a little over 2 minutes before U.S. market opens. We are potentially forming this head and shoulders pattern on the 4 hour. You can see it here, guys. Potentially forming this head and shoulders pattern. Be careful here, guys. Careful here, guys. Neckline, somewhere in there. Basically, our red box would send you somewhere down in here. Probably this daily level, about 70K-ish. Or lower. This would be if you broke this neckline here. This would be your, in my opinion, your first area that you would possibly bounce from. Speaking of MEXC, they gave us copy traders a scare yesterday. I was just doing my scalping. For those of you that know, when I copy scalp, most trades I'm in and out in 2 minutes or less. Sometimes 15 seconds or less. Just quick hits, boom, 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 win. We've won 27 or 28 in a row. And I was about to go mow the huge yard, so I was going to be out there for a while. And I did 2 or 3 copy trades, and then I got in one and just a little quick SFP. Going to make like 0.5% or so. Boom, boom, entered. like 90 seconds later, close. MEXC glitched, and instead of flash closing me, they entered me for a limit close, which did not fill. I walked away, went outside for about 2 hours, came back, and we were down like 20%. I was like, oh my gosh. I immediately got on the phone. I texted my dude, my rep. I was like, listen, this is what happened. I don't know what happened. I said, I said, check my account. I have never, ever limit ordered here, ever. Always market. Fees are too low. Why limit order? And he got back with me about 20 minutes later and said customer service acknowledged that there was a glitch, that I had actually clicked to flash close, and it glitched and entered a limit. And so he said, you guys take a loss. He said, do not close for a loss. He said, do not close for a loss. He said, but if you wind up getting liquidated, he said, we'll reimburse you, which I thought was really cool. But he really didn't want to go through the hassle of reimburses everybody on an individual basis. So he said, just let your guys know we're going to leave the limit order in place. If you come get stopped out or get closed out at break even, cool, no harm, no foul. He said, but if anybody gets liquidated, he said, we're going to reimburse. So I let the crew know, and we actually had a little baby profit, but basically break even. Everybody got back to break even, a little profit on it. And they did honor the closeouts for the limit, and all was good. So that was really cool to see that they were willing to honor their mistake, because these exchanges can get pretty shady sometimes. You see it, guys. Scam wicks. Solana had a scam wick. Gosh. When was Solana scam wick? I'll show it to you. Right there, you see the scam wick. That was like a 1 minute wick, guys. Over 100%. 1 minute wick. Only on Binance. No other chart. Over 100%. Boom, boom. Scam wick. Wiped everybody out. I mean, liquidated the hell out of everybody. So this is clearly a scam, but and you'll see it all the time. Slippage, scam wicks. They'll change your default on limit order, market order, whereas you always market. You go in one day and it's defaulted to limit even though you didn't change it, which is what happened to me yesterday. And most of them just leave you high and dry. But it's really cool to see that the rep was willing to reimburse us. I thought that was really cool. That was first class. So nobody should have taken a loss. Nobody should have closed, because I let everybody know not to close for a loss, that I had it covered. So hopefully nobody took a loss. If you did, you did not have to. Yeah, that's right, Spyro. Cash grab. They do that. You know they do that. Thanos gave me a scare. Read about your post after the glitch, after the fact. Price is dropping. Guys, I had this trade too. That's okay. Let's go to market just open. Let's go to KCEX chart. I've got a couple boxes. These are not dang green and red boxes. These are like U.S. market open, possible green and red boxes. All we really did, guys, all price really did in the last, over the weekend, was rotate the range. You got the range, come back into value. I tell you guys all the time, blue line to blue line. Trade the freaking blue line, red line, blue line. You close back in the range, you short, you TP at point of control, TP1, TP2 here. You deviate below. When you come back in and close, you long, you TP, you TP. Back to here, you TP, you get stopped out on this one, but you could have re-entered the short, which is what I tried to enter us in earlier. We just ran this by $7. All you're doing is range trading. It looks big, it looks scary, but you're really just range trading, guys. That's it. You deviated above the range on a big liquidation spike on folks. This is a liquidation spike, but other than that, you're literally just range trading. Blue line, red line, blue line, red line, blue line, red line, blue line. You're just range trading. Then the big deviation. Then when you come back in, boom. That's all you're doing. If all you did was throw ranges on and trade them all the time, you would be massively profitable. Massively. Yeah, you're going to lose one every now and then. Like here, came back into the range. Looking for TP1 here, you didn't make it, and then boom, wiped out. You're going to lose them every now and then, but look how many of these you would have won. I mean, look at all these. Nobody in no range wins everything. This blue line to blue line range trading is how I made most of my money on the year. That's all I used to do. I used to just set orders at blue line, red line, and blue line. That's it. That's it. Wait for closures back in, short. Wait for closure back in, long. TP1, TP2. Rinse and repeat. For years. Gonna get a little bounce here. Kind of swooped these lows here. Gonna get a little bounce. See if we come out of our box. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I closed out our MEXC. Hang on. Good swoop of the lows. Let's see if we can come swoop these highs and then reverse it back down and take all of it. At least the point of control. Let me turn on my vectors. Drop down to 5. Now, if you're going to take this trade, make sure you get the reaction, because you could blast through. Excuse me. Okay, so as we approach, I mean, really kind of in the middle, but as we approach either or, you game plan ahead of time. Let's see if we would have divergences if we took them. So, I mean, depending on if and when. If it took you all day, these momentum oscillators could catch up. But if you went and took this high pretty quick now, you know, in the next 30 minutes, hour, you should have some significant bearish divergence on the 5-hour time frame, right? $15-minute, probably same thing. 3-minute, for sure. But just having the divergences doesn't mean it's going to confirm. You have to get the reaction. Otherwise, it could just keep going up, 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 and your oscillator keep going up, 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 and mitigate that. And then next thing you know, you got higher highs in both, no divergence whatsoever. So you have to get the reaction, close back below there on the time frame that you want the divergence on, or that you're looking for the divergence on. You can't get a divergence here and drop to the 1 minute and get a closure. Be like, aha! It doesn't work that way. Again, these are not my high probability dang box trades. These are just for the U.S. market open. I'm looking to come take one of these and fully reverse. Potentially. These are not the high probability, you know, ones that I give you guys in Discord. I didn't even give these in Discord. That'd be great to take this and then drop it down. 4-hour head and shoulders play out. Take this thing all the way down to 70K. No news today. Coming up for it, guys. Let me see if we get there. We have some really cool things I got to show you, so hang around with us, guys. Hang around. I got some things that's going to make you wonder, is the low end for Bitcoin? You know, the low can be in. I'm not saying I don't think it is. The low can be in and the bottom is still not done. You know what I mean by that? The low can be in, but it doesn't mean you do that. You could still bottom here for months and months and not take this low. I hate to not short right here because I feel strongly. Oh gosh, what did I do? That is not where I'm at. I feel strongly that Asia and UK trading up is going to equal a reversal today. Is this the chart I was just on? I got too much going on. All right, let's drop back down our KCEX chart. Let's just watch this for a couple more minutes, guys. I know it's kind of boring watching this, but we really want this trade if we can get it. Something just doesn't look right. I can't put my finger on it. Anyway, so I got an 830 green vector candle to the upside. Got a little purple candle forming here to the downside. I don't think this is our big reversal candle, though. Could be. How about that moon, guys? The moon so far, that bare moon we talked about on Friday. That bare moon. See if it's got any more juice left in it. I think the average, I have to go back and look. And if anybody knows offhand, correct me, but I think the average move down for a moon, when it does play out, is 7.5%. I think 8%, something like that. And we're actually, we're really not, haven't got that much. Actually, we're up now. I lied. The moon's doing shit. We had a drop, but as of now, it's bounced. It looks like the moon's playing out because from here to here, from high to low, you got a 6% drop, but that's not where the moon fired. The moon fired off here, and we got a giant pump that day, then retrace. So technically, we're exactly break even where the moon fired off. So it's really done nothing. There are some things that suggest we could rotate up to mid-80s and still come down. Although I think if we rotate up to mid-80s, we will definitely come down, but I think the low will be in if we do that. And there's reasons I'm going to show you. Sorry, guys. You guys want to move on, or y'all want to wait for this 845 trade? It's 3 minutes away. Y'all want to move on or wait? I know it's kind of boring. But you know if I get to talking about other stuff, I'll get distracted and we'll miss the trade. If we get a trade. $8.45. Salt chain says wait. Carry bins, $8.45. All right, it's only 2 minutes away now. Hotborn votes to wait. All right, we're going to hang out here. We're going to hang out here. It's less than 2 minutes now. Bitcoin needs to push. I want to come swoop this high. I'm going to enter a short here, guys. I'm going to enter a potential copy. I'm going to enter a copy trade if it comes here. Potentially, if we get the reaction. But I'm going to enter a potential scalp for day trade, which means I'm not going to flash close it most likely. Try to catch a runner. because of our bias to the downside with the Asian UK market trend and our potential 4-hour head and shoulders. Speaking of that 4-hour, I'll come right back. We did get the green dot, which is already played out. However, even with the green dot, we had money flow crossover into the red, which typically means unless you can fake that out back into the green, you're going to get this little move up and then roll over. All right, we're less than 1 minute. Let's go back. Gosh, moving down. There's really mixed signals on the chart. $15 seconds. Push Bitcoin. Here we go, 845. Push up there. What you would love to see right here is a green vector candle right into there. And then immediately, ding, next candle, start out red vector. That would be a big short down. That means they just trapped everybody, and then the red vector would be high volume candle, market maker, reversing to come get everyone who got trapped. That would be ideal. It would look something like this. Big green, and then this is pink, purple, whatever. Could be purple or red. Either way, they're both vectors. Just not gray. Gray's not a vector. Gray or white are not vectors. It'll look something just like this, and that translates into a good move down. I mean, it doesn't look like much. If you even start at the candle, though, I mean, that's 1%. If you made that whole thing on a 20x trade, you made 20% of your account. That's a $1,000 move for those of you with a $5,000 account. We're going to try to catch that if we get what we're looking for here. Watch this be the time they shoot up to 77.3 and gap fill. Let's be aware, though, what's above us in case it does shoot up. If you get into these highs, you could be in trouble. Got these relatively equal highs here, right? Gunpowder, boom, boom. And then you're really, really in trouble if you get into these. This is big gunpowder right there. That sends you above the high, for sure. So really your last line of defense here is this 786. If you get above that, strong chance you at least take these out. But if you get into this, you're for sure taking the highs. That'll be enough liquidity right there to just cause a chain reaction of longs. I don't think that happens today, though. And by the way, if you gap fill, you will be into this. So if you gap fill, you will probably take the high. All right, getting a little boring. Somebody watch this for us. We're going to move on. Hang on, I got this random white line on the chart. Shoot. I don't know what this random line is for. I'm going to delete it. I have an alert set at both boxes, so if we come to either one, we'll flip back really quick. Let's talk about the weekly. Let's go to the weekly. So we talked about this all last week. We were looking at the weekly money flow crossover, right? So we covered this. Let me go to the Bitstamp chart. We covered this extensively. We went back in history with, I'll zoom back out, history with price, and every single time you've got a weekly money flow crossover into the green has been a major macro bottom, never to be taken out before. In fact, coming from a bear market, when you hit the bear market red and coming back, that first weekly close in the green, the low, the bear market low has always been in, okay? In all of last week, the money flow was in the green on the weekly, but it was unconfirmed, and we said we have to wait until Sunday's closure to see if it confirms in the green, and sure enough, it did not. That big move down yesterday, that unexpected move down with a 4-hour green dot, by the way, that was the candle. I had a 4-hour green dot. I said, shoot, we're fixing to push up and confirm money flow in the green, confirm that we missed the low. And then out of nowhere, just dump Ola right back down. Okay, that mitigated, that flashed every market, Bybit, Coinbase, Binance, all of them flashed back to red. Then confirmed red. Then when we opened the new week yesterday, last night, it crossed back into the green. However, it is unconfirmed. So once again, we'll have to wait until next Sunday to see if this confirms green. If it does, 100% of the time, the low is in. And again, I will stress, that means the bear market low has been in, and anything can happen. It's 100%, but it could fail this time, and next time it's only 90%. I get it. However, the low is in. That doesn't mean you can't come back down, though, okay? You could easily do stuff like this, right? Just not take the low, or at least you never have before, ever. Not one single time in history. When you, that's where you get the cross, the low was already in. Coming out of the bear market. Bear market, that's where you get the cross, the low was already in. Coming out of the bear market, that's where you get the cross, the low was already in. Never before has it happened. As a matter of fact, the only time you've even violated the low that you got when you got the cross was right here, and this was COVID. Okay, the big C19 dump. That's the only time you even violated the low, the macro low, but you still didn't come take out the bear market low. And this was a global pandemic. So short of something of that scale, you're probably not going to violate whatever low you have. Like even here, you got the cross here, the last swing low, you went back into the red, you came down, but you still didn't take out even the macro swing low, much less the bear market low. So it's a really strong bullish sign. Now, it doesn't mean, again, you can't come back down a little, liquidate some folks, gain some momentum, and then go out of there, but the low has always been in. Anyway, that did not confirm, but it is flashing green on all exchanges. At least all the major ones that I look at. I don't look at the obscure ones. But it's flashing green again, so we'll wait and see on Sunday. Let me show you something else fairly interesting, I think. Sorry, I got to set this up real quick. I'm going to switch on RSI. Let me take off this yellow line. Okay, so I'm on Bitstamp because it has the most history, and we're on the weekly RSI. All right, anytime you've come down below the 30 line, any time, the bear market low has been in. Every single time. The bear market low has been in. Okay? However, and we're going to cover this in a second, let's just mark these out for those of you doubting me. Come below it, there's your bear market low. Come below it, there's your bear market low. Here's the exception. You set a new low in 2022, and again, we've covered this so many times. This one weekly candle that violated that low was the FTX scandal. And it really wasn't even that people were selling off. FTX was selling off because they were going to prison. They dumped everything on the market. They froze everybody's accounts. Everybody got liquidated because they couldn't close their account. It was just a big scandal, literally. And Sam Bankman-Fried is now in prison. But sure, and even then, you came to 17 grand, and then you came back down to 15.5, something like that. So you barely violated the low, but you did. Okay, you did. I acknowledge you did. Not by much, but you did. Right, not by much. But anyway, anytime you've hit RSI on the weekly below 30, the low is in. And we hit below 30. Okay, so given that 100% stat, I guess it's really not 100% stat if you want to count the FTX. I don't count that. It's crap, just like I don't count C19. Because in however many years Bitcoin's been around, 14 or 15, you got like 2 instances like that, 2. What are the odds that happen again? Of course it can. But this stat right here is not enough for me to be like, okay, I'm calling it, the low is in. However, with this, and if we confirm the weekly money flow here this Sunday in the green, if that confirms and we have the RSI below 30 confirmed at the low, I would feel very confident in calling the bottom. Very confident. Okay? So you have two 100% stats staring in the face. Now, let's go look at these bottoms, though. After the RSI has hit below 30, they don't all look the same. Okay? I mean, you got a bottom here, and you pump up, down, just kind of sideways chop, form this little W-type pattern, right? A weird, wonky W. Fast forward over here to 2018, you pretty much just V-shape recovered. Boom, boom. I mean, a little of this, but nothing like 2014, right? You can see the difference. See the big difference. You played around there for a while. Here, you V-shape. I mean, look, you can't miss it. Boom. I understand. C19. I get it. But short of that, you pretty much V-shape recovered. Either way, you didn't play around at the bottom. You came up and you kind of consolidated way above the bottom, right? Then you fast forward over to 2022. You come down. It's a little more like 2018. You kind of V-shape, then you consolidate right in here, kind of a middle range, and then move up and out. If you can't see that, this is what it did. Came up, consolidated in a little middle range before moving up and out. Never really came back to the lows, right? Although in 2014 it did. So you just don't really know what kind of bottom you're going to get, and nobody can predict that. I mean, it's all different kind of bottoms. However, when the money flow crossed green and confirmed, and the RSI confirmed below 30, your bottom was in. So you got to be paying attention to this, guys. Everybody, including myself, is expecting lower. This will be the first time in history we did not get a 786 retrace, guys. First time in history. So everybody's expecting lower. So either way it goes this time, guys, either way it goes, whether you violate the 100% RSI stat or you confirm the green money flow and violate that, or the 786 retrace, either way it goes, you will have a 100% stat that is wrong this time. Either way it goes. But each of these bottoms has always been a 786 retrace. Always. And guys, right now, we're not even at the golden pocket. Like, we're literally not even at the golden pocket. Front ran the golden pocket. So some people will say, well, your multiplier from bottom to top was not great, not as great like previous cycles, right? Some people will say that. Fair enough. You know, like here you got 2,000%, right? We're not going to go through all these. We've been through these before. We're just going to go through the last one. 2,000%. And here you only got about 700%, right? And your drawdown, these are approximate, guys. 78%. %, approximate. So a lot of people are going to say, well, okay, since you got 2,000 and 700, that 700 is significantly less, why can't the drawdown be significantly less? Fair enough. However, I would counter that with going back, and again, we're not going to go through all these. Let me move this so I can see where it's at. But in the cycle before that, you got 12K% over. And you still got 83% drawdown. So that's about on par. Matter of fact, let's go with the last one. We're here. Why not? All right, so that's fair to say you're getting smaller losses, although they're technically still all coming to the 786. The percentage losses, percentage gains are getting less, percentage losses are getting less, even though they're coming to the 786. At least the 786. 78%, right? That is what a 786 is. 786 literally is 78.6% from the high. It's literally what it is. Here you want 83% from the high, or 86%. So even if you shot this down, say 5-6%, okay, the 702, that still puts you down to 48K, guys, 48K. And so far we've only done, what, 59K? Would still suggest lower. However, we have the RSI that suggests the bottom is in. And if the money flow, weekly money flow confirms in the green, it's 200% stats that would suggest the bottom is in, even at only a 52% pullback. So really kind of like some mixed signals on the macro here, guys. Let's talk about something else. We'll keep it on this chart. So let's throw on our moving averages. I'm going to go into the 200-day SMA. Usually I use EMAs, but SMA. All right, so at some point, let me remove these fibs. At some point during each bear market, . we rally up and touch the 200-day SMA before rejecting at some point. Not always at the same point. Right? Rally up, touch it, reject, continue to bear market. We have yet to do that at this point, guys. We've yet to do that. As of now, it's sitting about 86K. But of course, it's daily, so it moves down. So if this were to, let's go back to our Bybit chart real quick. If this were to continue to move down over the next few weeks like that, and price continued up to it, here's where I run into the problem. You could meet this somewhere up here at mid-80s, 84K, right at your CME gap, right at the dang red box, and then move down. The problem that I have with this, almost certainly, if you came up into here, I mean, unless you just did all of this within a 1 week period and then came back down here, you're going to confirm that money flow crossover in the green on the weekly. Almost certainly. I mean, yeah, sure. You could shoot up there, quick wig it, 2 days later be back down here, flashes back red, no harm, no foul. Lower low incoming. But that would be a lot of movement, and Bitcoin could do it. But that's a $9,000 move up, and then you'd have to retrace $9,000 within the same week. More. Because at a $9,000 retrace, you're still green. You'd have to come back down probably about $12,000. It's $20,000 swing, guys. That's a stretch, even for Bitcoin. So we've not touched the 200-day SMA at any point in time since we lost it, and we've always back-tested it. So a lot of things technically will be different. There are going to be several 100% stats broken this time. Several. I lean towards, if we confirm, because of the RSI, confirmed already, weekly RSI, I lean towards, if we confirm that weekly green money flow, I think the bottom's in. Unless you have a scandal, a global pandemic, an NUKE dropped, something of that nature, I would lean towards the bottom's in, guys. I'm not there yet. RSI is not enough for me. Always remember in trading, money flow is king 100%. Anyway, just some food for thought there. Just ponder on that stuff, guys. Questions? We have questions? Let's look at Bitcoin. Still just hanging out in the middle. Nothing going here, guys. I'm really surprised to see the U.S. not come out with fireworks. Like, this is very unusual for the U.S. to just come out and dilly-dally around like this. Especially after a big move on the weekend. Yeah, it's all chain. Bitcoin not doing anything at all. Sorry for all my blah. Let's take a look at our poll. The question is, does Bitcoin fill the CME gap around 77K today? Wow, 91% of you think it does. I don't think it does at all. But a lot of you do. I could be wrong. It's just looking very weak up in here. I'm hoping for this. Let's see what we look like on divergences now. It's kind of him hauling around. You should have it on the 15-minute. Ooh, look at this. Head and shoulders pattern on a 15-minute. And this stuff plays out, guys. Head and shoulders pattern right here on the 15-minute momentum. If you can break zero line and flip that money flow to red, you can actually probably expect to come take these lows at least. Wow. I wish I'd have gotten in this trade. $7 front run. You guys remember that Rave coin I showed you last week? You guys are going to be mad at me. I showed it to you last week. I almost copy shorted this. Almost. It was extremely high risk, though. Extremely high risk. I almost shorted it. Copy shorted. I should have shorted on my own. It was up like 13,000%, right, in just a few days. Look at this, guys. Look at this craziness. Over 12,000, almost 13,000%. And I showed you guys this on Friday. I almost pulled the trigger Saturday on this, which is where it topped. And since then, 98% down. Do you know how much you could have made on that? It's very risky because this damn thing could have kept on going for who knows how long. So if you had a $5,000 account on 20x leverage and you made 98%, of course you wouldn't have been able to take profit on that. Guys, you would have made 98 grand. That's not right. That's a lot. You could have made 100 grand on this. 100,000. Of course you wouldn't have made that because you'd have taken profit somewhere along the way. But still, even if you came down here and closed out half and you let the other half ride, I mean, you could have made 40, 50 grand on a $5,000 account on this trade. I gave you this on Friday. I almost took it. But, I mean, you know, it's hard because you got something like this that's been around for like 2 months, not even, and it's just relentless to the upside. Like, where does it stop? I mean, I knew it was going to stop. I thought it was going to stop somewhere in here because you can see where it stalled out. But what if it just kept on and then you liquidated? But I knew at some point this was coming. I told you guys. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest. If you see this, it's coming back. Remember what I told you. The market will not come meet Rave Coin. Rave Coin will come back to the market. Why is Bitcoin up 13,000%? Because it came up with Rave Coin. Rave Coin lifted up the market. That will never happen. Yeah, drawdown risk is way too big. It would not have taken much to get liquidated on this. It would not have taken much. This is one of those, if you had $1,000 that you literally didn't care if you lost, like literally, like you would just assume just throw it out the window and be like, bye-bye $1,000. This is a hell of a setup to take it on. Right here. This is what you want all day long. And what you do, because you could turn that $1,000 on 20x leverage into 20 grand. Like that. Like this. This is daily, 2 days, 20 grand. But what you do is you wait. Oh, shoot. You wait until you get some stall out type stuff like this. I'm on a 4 hour now. This is what you do, and it's still very hard. You wait. So on the 4 hour, you can see there's clearly no stall out in this, right? None. Just up, no stall. And then you start seeing some stall out stuff. Okay? Start seeing a little bit of stall out stuff here. Then you're going to wait for your divergences. Okay? So you set 4 hour divergences here. And on something like this, I want like at least 4 hour. I'm not dilly-dallying around with a 5 minute. It's still very hard. You want your 4-hour divergences, what you got. Okay? You got a little move down, but you could. So on this, because you can rip anywhere, you want to wait till break a market structure with this. You didn't get it. Okay? Market structure break would have been here. So I got my divergences. This clues me into wait. And I understand you're going to miss some percentages. I don't care. You're not going to get liquidated. You wait. Coming down, coming down, coming down. You did not break market structure. You pull back up. What did you do? You created another drive of bearish divergence. Come down. Break market structure. And go. Now you formed an M pattern, which everything's an M to W. We already covered that, but you formed an M pattern with triple drive of bear divs on the 4-hour. Broken market structure, shorted down. You didn't catch the top, but you had a very high probability trade. And if you took it at the break, you still made 95%. So yeah, you gave back 3%. You didn't make 3%. Boo-hoo. But you had a high probability crash. I don't mean dump. I mean crash. But that's how you got into that trade. And I almost took this for copy. Almost. But the risk was great, and if you came back in even halfway back up, you'd have been liquidated. But if I would have known that you guys didn't care, like if I would have known this is a DGen account that everybody has $1,000 in and we don't care, I would have taken this all day long. But not until these parameters were hit. Triple drive, break of structure, short. And if you wanted extra confluence, you can see when you broke structure here, you came back and bearishly back tested. You could wait for that back test and then down. Showed you guys I got in WorldCoin. I bought over 300,000 WorldCoin. Just looking for a little hack. WorldCoin has not returned to touch the weekly. Well, it pretty much always does return. Not always, but pretty much always returns to touch the weekly 5 EMA. Pretty much always. Out of what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 10 attempts, it missed it twice. Missed it here. Here. And we can go on up. More. Pretty much always does. That's a good, if you add on those extra 4, that's a good 85, 90%. So, are we going to come hit it here? I don't know. But about 300,000. And it was on the shot that we were going to get that weekly green money flow confirmation on Bitcoin. Look, when you're buying stuff like this right here, yeah, you could try for a little spot trade like I'm on, but I'm buying 300,000, over 300,000 coins of a coin that went to $12 last time. If it did that again, that's, I don't even know what it is. $3.5 million. I'm okay if I hold this. Even if this thing massively, and I do mean massively, underperforms, and all you got was a 382 retrace. Uh-oh. I'm messing up. Where's the 382? It's still way up here at about $5. It's still $1.5 million. I'm okay holding this. Even if this thing dropped, say it dropped more. Say you came all the way down to all-time low at 15 cents, which was all-time low was where it was released. You still got a 382 up there, almost $5. Like, I'm really okay if I have to hold this. Like, a really terrible performance would be a 236, which is at $3. That's still going to pay you right at $1 million. I'm okay. If you're going to take chances, in my opinion, now's the time. I mean, hell, even if we just rotated the range. Look at things like that, guys. You get in here, you got the range, the entire life of your coin range. If you rotate it back to the top of the range, SFP this high, and did nothing but range trade here, right? Still at 220. You're still making $500,000 more, 700,000. Hell, I'm okay if we just come to point of control at about $1. Still making $300,000. It's all good. It's all good, guys. Totally cool. And we got more gunpowder. All right, guys. Any questions? My voice is starting to get a little. So probably going to get out of here. Bitcoin doing a whole lot of nothing. I got to admit, guys, I'm really shocked that the U.S. market came out with this weak performance. Like, I am shocked. Let's do a little move here now. Let's see if they come. Yeah, Salt Chain, nothing burger today. Speaking of burgers, Jane cooked some burgers the other day. Oh, here we go. They're really good. I got a leftover burger in there. Oh, it acted like it was going to take it there. Okay, let's plan. We're close. So if they come get it. Oh, shoot. I got to clear this up. If they come get it, let's see if we have divs. We did earlier, but that was earlier. Prices dilly-dallied around. Some of these oscillators could have caught up. All right, I'm on the 5-minute chart. If we come take it right now, we will have 5-minute divergences. Look at the 15. We'll have 15-minute divergence. Matter of fact, we'll have a triple drive. Yeah, triple drive. This will be beautiful. Triple drive. All we need is a reaction. Here we go. We need a reaction, though. What do we got on the 1 minute? No 1 minute divs. 3 minute. You will have 3-minute divergences. You will have that. Most likely. If it comes up now. I would love to take it. Come back. Close within this range. We just tapped the range again. Let's see what that is from this little local move. USFP the 786 into the range. We still should come back for this high. I'm going to scalp for day right here, guys. I'm going to try to. Willing to ride a little bit of drawdown here. All right, see what we get. Let's go to the 1. Let's check Bybit. I'm going to leave it on Bybit. I got the MEXC pulled up over here so I can watch that chart. I would really like to see the Bybit value area, or excuse me, 786 get tapped. I don't really want it if KCEX does. Like if Bybit does this and KCEX or MEXC takes it, I don't really want it. Because that would tend to do something like this and then we get wrecked. Got a scammer in Discord, guys. Scammer in Discord. Scammer alerts. They're tricky. You gotta watch them. I'll tell you what these guys do. Look at there. See, that's me, admin. You got another one right here. It's Anthony L. Lee, crypto. Fucker. Ban him. Spam account. I never delete message history. That way, if any of them ever message you, you'll still have your message history. All right, we banned him. Get out of our Discord. Dagbjort, what's up? Yeah, that's right, Dagbjort. 2 L's. Had 2 L's in my name. Good catch. That's how I know. The moron just sent me a friend request. I'm like, Anthony Lee Crypto just sent me a friend request. Like, you at least should not friend request the admin if you want to be stealthy. Dagbjort, our favorite Icelander. Yeah, Invicta, the 4-hour green dot confirmed. It sure did. Right there, right there. All right, here we go. We're going to take the high. Let's see. Ooh, let's go back to the 1. Let's make sure we still have divs. Okay, we got divs. We need to take it. I don't want to just take it. I want to hit that 786. There it is. All right. Scalped it on copy. Let's see what they do. That was a pretty strong push through. I think they're coming back. Pretty strong push through. So I scalped it. We took profit. That was a 1% profit. Because we got danger ahead, guys. Although I like this. That was an aggressive move up here. These are good targets right here, guys. If they want to push a little higher, you got this series of relatively equal highs. I don't know that they do. This is the move that I was waiting on. I scalped it on copy. I got it on KCEX too. I'm day trading this on KCEX. I closed 1% on copy. I'm gonna TP on my KCEX right now. 15%. Hang on, guys. Stop loss at the high. All right, I TP'd 15%. Stop loss at the high. KCEX, guys. All right, so now what I just did on my KCEX account is called a scalp for day trade. So I secured profit on my scalp. I'm short from damn near the high, so I'm guaranteed some profit on this account. Now I'm just letting it run, okay? So I scalped for a day trade. I didn't just scalp to close the scalp. Now I'm looking for a day trade short down. I just scalped and got us 1% profit on the copy accounts. So all good. 2 winners right there. It's the one we're waiting for. Let's see if they come take these highs right here, though. Gosh, we're getting dangerously close to a gap fill here, guys. If they come take these highs. Let's throw this fib is mitigated. Let's throw the bigger fib from the high. I can do this all day, guys. Almost every time you take one of these highs, you get a reaction like that. So even if you're just scalping, take a high, react, short, close, take it again, boom, same thing, same thing, same thing. All right, so we've just mitigated the 382. See, it was holding up. Let me zoom in. This was from our high. When was this? Friday? Our high Friday to our low last night. You got the fib on there. We had 382 rejection. Now we've mitigated it. We've closed the 15-minute above it. We got to be eyeing the 0.5, but there's no real point of going to the 0.5. If you go to the 0.5, you may get a little something, but you're almost certainly going to come at least take these highs, if not the third high there, and that should be enough to fuel you right up into this golden pocket, which would basically be a 702 would really be an undertest of that. But if you start getting into this, you're probably going to gap fill. I know it's a lot of if then that. The good news about you scalpers is each and every one of these you should get a reaction. So quick trade should, but you got to watch for the reaction and the divs. So for example, you come in on the 0.5, you're probably going to get a baby reaction, maybe a big reaction. I don't know, but at least a baby one. Scalp. Swing failure pattern that. Scalp. Take the next one. Scalp. Golden pocket. Scalp. 702. Scalp. Gap fill. You could get all of these if you're scalping. Most likely, not necessarily. I mean, you may take these three at once. That's a strong possibility. Rather than in the 2 different shots, you may not do this. You may just do that. Maybe even right into the golden pocket. You just got to look for the reaction and the divergence. But I see this as opportunity. A lot of people are like, oh, gosh, where do I short? Where do I short? Golden pocket, 3 high, 702, CME, daily level. What do I short? And my answer is all of them. You short them all. And one of them is going to run for you. Just treat them as scalp for days. Scalp for day trades. Scalp it. If it catches a runner into a day trade, great. Otherwise, you wait on a dang red box to enter a plain and simple day trade. But the problem with waiting on dang red boxes and dang green boxes is there's a lot of moves that can be made before there. A lot of good profitable moves. Like this dang red box here, hell of a move. Good trade, big trade. We already discussed this, big trade. But this was a good move, right? So if there was something here like a high you took out, I don't remember if there was a high back here, and you just SFP'd that right here. That is a good move without waiting on this. I mean, that gave you 1.15%, so 1% at 20x leverage, that's 20% of your account. $5,000 account, that's $1,000 profit right there. Even if you TP'd half somewhere along the way, you made $500. So look for things like I'm showing you and take them all if you get what you want to see at them all. Like right here, we just made 1% on this. 1%. That's not much. I mean, yeah, I get it. $5,000 account, you just made $50. But you made $50 in 7 seconds. And now you wait for the next one. Could we have made more here? Maybe, but this is not a strong reaction. This is not a strong reaction, guys. This is not what you want to see. Now, could you hem-haw around here and then, yeah, sure you can, but this is not what I want to see for a strong reaction. We discussed this. There's no vector reversal. Right? You got the vector up into it. That's what we wanted to see. Right? You got the green vector into it, but there was no vector reversal, which means market maker is not reversing this. This is the strong reaction you want to see. Right here. Vector into it. Vector reversal. That's a strong reaction. And what were you reacting to? Swoop of the high. Boom. That's what you want to see. See that? See the difference? You don't have that here. I mean, you had non-market maker rejection. That's just people like you and I who just shorted that, and they already retraced most of it. It's not what you want to see, which tells me this is probably coming higher, and then I'm going to wait on that vector. But this is a weak reaction. Close the trade. Get the hell out. Or at least have your stop at the high. And if it runs, it runs. It just bees like that sometimes. But this is a low probability for a runner, in my opinion, because of the reaction. Now, if you come break this low, and you break this low, and then this turns into a red vector, yeah, you could push. You could push. I mean, you do have some green vectors here you could recover. So we'll see. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get in some more copy day trades or copy scalp trades today. Watch out for this 0.5, guys. You could get a reaction here, but watch out for these highs. You got the 2 there, and then this one right above them, which would take you right into the golden pocket. This is a good red box up above, guys. This is a good red box. I like this box. If you get into it, I'll be looking for a heavy short. Okay, guys. Love you guys. Hopefully I'll have a better voice tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time.